It's through your wounds that the light gets in. It's in the darkest room that the candle glows. It's at the bottom of the deepest well that the softest earth will break your fall. It's on the mountain that I learned the most. It's when I fell down that I knew my strength. It's not my mistakes tell you who I am, but what I do with them and who I will become. And I like a poor child given a chance, and I will rise like the sun up through the clouds, and I will rise every time that I sing, and when I fall, I'll fall gracefully, 'cause when I fall, I am given wings. Though I am poisoned, though I'm dark and sad, though I am angry at pictures from my past, I am both loving, I am pure and light, I am shadow and mist, both the peace and the fight. It's through your tears that you'll see his face. It's through surrender that you'll ride the wave. And if the walls are built to block your path, just get up and find another way. And I will rise like a poor child given a chance, and I will rise like the sun up through the clouds, gracefully. 'Cause when I fall, I am given
Good morning. Morning, Sister Belinda. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sister Fatima.
I don't know if she's on.
Yeah, just not
There she is. Yep.
on camera yet.
So thank you for that beautiful song. It just definitely put the context in. Because today we will discuss the power to pack up. And it's really beautiful when we can actually use this quality of packing up, not only in a sense to let go of the past, but I like the idea of packing up because then you can go on to a journey. And so we need to have our bags ready so that we can, when we get the opportunity, move and not miss the flight. Morning, Sister Fatima.
Can you unmute yourself, Sister Fatima?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning. Can you see me?
We can see you, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So my bags are packed and I'm ready to go. I have my big bag that goes into the luggage of the airplane, and I've got my small bag that goes up above my seat, and my little handbag that I carry with me, and I'm packed up, I'm ready to go. And if by any chance I've forgotten anything behind, I'm not going to allow that to spoil my trip. If I've forgotten it, I've forgotten it. Too bad.
As long
If
as
I
it's not the passport, right?
The passport is the first thing and the ticket, because if I don't have both, I'm not going anywhere. So packing up. That was the image that came to my mind, and on a very physical level. And the thought that when you are traveling, you prepare yourself days, weeks before, and make sure that on the last day, everything is ready. You just pick up your bags, get into the car and leave. But then again, on the other hand, when you look at the power to pack up spiritually, it means that all the challenges that you meet on a daily basis, if you have the ability to clear them up daily, then your journey onwards, the road is very clear. And that is where the challenge is, and that is where the effort is. And so, Sister Usha, I hand it over to you.
Well, I like to continue with the idea of having our bags packed, but I want to just take it on a little different note. And I have this experience that, if the things that we require for our journey are always kept in the right place, and even simple things like our shampoo, conditioner, creams, when we use it, we always close the lid. we always keep things, sealed. And so say, for example, I suddenly get a message that I have to leave somewhere in a hurry. If I've always, kept my things in the right place, I can actually come into my space in a few seconds, pick up everything, because everything I need is where it always is, and closed, sealed. I have the cover for my whatever, my toothbrush needs to have a casing. The lid for it is in place. And so I can then very quickly gather my things and actually can get ready to move on. But if, for example, I always leave the things a little bit half unscrewed or whatever, when I know I have to pack, then I have to spend that extra few minutes making sure everything is closed and everything has its cover and everything. And that means that actually my packing can take a little bit of time, and I could be delayed and I could actually miss that flight. And I like to use that analogy for actually what's happening to us spiritually. There's always, when we have an understanding, like take, for example, we're talking about being a soul. And we all sort of, are getting the idea that it's nice to look at myself as a spiritual self. But having the information about being the soul is not sufficient. I need to start practicing. But because I have the tools, I say to myself, I'm going to wait now for the 1st of July, because this is June and June is now really finished. I'll wait till the 1st of July and then I'll make a nice program and I'll start practicing being a soul, and I'll, implement the things I've been enjoying. What if July comes and something else happens? And so what happens is that when we kind of procrastinate certain things, so I'm using the analogy of closing a lid or whatever, is to postpone a task I can do in that moment. What will then happen is that at the time when something else comes, I'll never have an opportunity. Many times people will say, I want to meditate, but I'm just waiting for the winter to finish. I want to do this, but, I'm just waiting for that to happen. And what happens is that they're never ready to move on because they're waiting for something else to finish. And I'm putting in two concepts here. One is that I deliberately don't finish the task. And the other is actually I wait. So both ways, I'm actually creating some kind of delay in acting on it. And that doesn't allow me then to move fast. And so that's also a kind of packing up.
Yeah, actually, you remind me, Sister Usha, of an analogy that I heard recently about this insect on the back of a pig. And there's a nice patch of mud there. And the insect is very intoxicated that he found this piece of land. And he's very busy putting up fences and taking care of this piece of land. And the eagle comes along and says to the insect, "Come with me. I can show you the sky. I can show you the mountains. I can show you everything." And the insect says, yes, I like the idea very much, but I just found this piece of land and I'm very busy. Can you come back next week? And so the following week, the eagle comes back and he says, "Right, are you ready to come?" And the insect says, "You know what? A crack has appeared in my land and now I have to fix it. Could you come back next week?" And so the story goes, and of course, the insect never gets to experience what the eagle experiences. So it kind of describes well what it is that we do, how we delay our spiritual efforts that are really going to show us a very, very different perspective of life. And then we'll be able to look back at the patch of land that we were so busy trying to fix and realize that in the spiritual dimension, there is so much to be explored, to be seen.
I hear procrastination is what takes up our time from using that opportunity of preparing yourself at all times to be ready for whatever comes your way. And so procrastination eats up your time. It also eats up the opportunity of you making yourself stronger, making yourself wiser in that sense.
And in looking at this idea of procrastination, I want to also add in this other element of learning how to complete things. So, for example, like screwing back the lid of the cream or the whatever it is, that's just like learning to finish things off as well. Don't delay in leaving things half done. But there's something else that came to my mind as well, is that in relationships with people as well, sometimes you're meant to say after something finished, thank you. Or you're meant to say, it was a pleasure or something. What happens is that even in that relationship, sometimes we leave something out. But then on the other hand, the other thing about packing up is like, say today I met with you and you had a heavy day and you were in a little bit of a daze, and I'm talking to you and I'm not really getting a response from you. And so then tomorrow when I meet you, now tomorrow you've had a good rest and you're like a completely new person. And I'm holding my image of you from yesterday. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to really speak to Fatima because she was not really interested in me yesterday. And so I'm using that vision of myself, of you from yesterday, and I'm approaching you with a very disinterested. And you thinking, my God, why is she behaving like this? I'm really willing to be present, or I'm here for you and whatever it is. So we do that spiritually as well with people, which is where we kind of hold them in a time warp, because actually we haven't grown. We have actually taken sorrow or some kind of pain. And so that means we just stay where we are and we never actually allow others out of the vision we created of them. And at the end of the day, what happens is that you can actually completely destroy the relationship. I think the other person who you were trying to limit, because if they have already grown, they will actually move on. But what will actually happen for the person whose vision is there, stuck in the past, they will continue suffering with the same thing and make statements like, oh, that one will never change. She's always like this, or he's always like that. And that also means we can actually jeopardize our opportunity to heal relationships, to make them more trustworthy, to make them more stronger, which is also, again, something that is an important element on our spiritual journey. Because I understand that on a spiritual journey, it's not about you getting it together. It's about all of us, creating a sense of contentment with each other. And so we need to create 3 certificates: be content with myself, others be content with me, and God be content with me.
That's powerful.
I'm also remembering Daddy Prakash Mani, who was the head of the Brahma Kumaris for 35 years. And she knew the ins and outs of everyone. She knew their good qualities, but she also knew their defects. And people said that, whenever you came in front of her, it didn't matter what your past had been, how many mistakes you made. She always had this incredible vision of seeing you in the highest light. And such a beautiful example of not, keeping those lenses of the past in front of our eyes, because they not only limit us, but they can also limit the other person as well, because an attitude is very powerful. if you have a particular attitude towards someone, it influences you negatively if it's a negative attitude, but it can also keep the other person stuck because that's your vision. It's like you lock them into that that weakness or that defect.
I liked what you said. And what came to my mind was we sometimes come into relationships with people because we depend on them to give us respect. We depend on them to like us. And that's what Sister Usha was really talking about, that dependency of expecting, of taking from other people. And with the power to pack up, it's the opposite. You have the power to have the ability and the strength to give to others, because you have already taken for yourself from a spiritual perspective. And once you do that, the dependency on others to like you, to respect you, finishes, because you have acquired those virtues for yourself, because you have self-respect. You are able to respect other people. You have humility, and all the innate qualities in you are working. And as a result, you are able to pack up.
You know, that's interesting in a way, because when you actually can see your own virtues and qualities and then don't depend on others, there was once somebody that says that, you know, what is the cause of jealousy? And it was Sister Jainti that said, you know, the main reason for jealousy is actually laziness. She said because individuals fail to actually reach into themselves and do the inner work of knowing themselves. And so when others are growing forward, they find faults and they create that experience of jealousy, you know, thinking why they get the opportunity, why they moving forward. But it's related to the fact that I myself, I'm not doing the work of going inside and discovering my own self. So then I actually feel intimidated or belittled or whatever it is on a negative level because of somebody else going forward. But she was saying that, you know, we must all be very aware that nobody can take away which is your inner treasures. Even if somebody tries to suppress you or be oppressive for you, that which is your eternal gift will never actually, it's like blocking the sun. You can't actually do that. And so always have faith that who you are is innately your gifts, and don't make other people the reason why you don't move forward. Let even the way somebody does something towards you, put it aside and keep looking at yourself and move forward.
Yeah, you know, you're both touching on this important aspect of self-respect. And I think another area that we really need to look at is our inner talk. You know, how do we talk to ourselves internally? And very often it can be extremely critical and intolerant. And I like to always remember that, you know, a masterpiece, a piece of art, beautiful piece of art, took time to create. And we are those masterpieces that are in the process of being created. And we should have that very respectful and loving attitude towards our own journey. And that beautiful song that was played at the beginning, that it's when I fall that I'm given wings. And we all fall from time to time. Sometimes we don't live up to our own expectations, but to pack up those kind of limiting thoughts that keep us weighted down, and allow ourselves to feel the wings and use them.
I feel that also one needs to have the courage, to have the ability to turn your eyes inwards, to be able to look at yourself and to see your own mistakes inside. And that gives you the ability, because that's when truth begins to function, when you can look inside and see what still has to be fixed, what still needs to be worked on. And I think for most of us, that is the biggest challenge, to have that ability to honestly look at oneself and say, yes, I can see that is something that I still need to work on. And in a sense, once you can do that, that is the beginning of the journey to transformation, changing yourself in that sense. But it takes a lot of courage, and spiritually, it is a very good starting point for growth.
Sister Belinda, are you going to take us into a meditation today?
Yes, is it my turn?
I don't know. I can't. Fatima,
so.
did you do the day before?
Yes, I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, got it done.
I did it 2 days ago.
Okay.
So I think it is actually your turn, Sister Usha.
Okay.
Did one today?
I did yesterday. I'm
Oh,
happy
good.
to. Yeah, so that's fine. But Fatima, if you did it 2 days ago, maybe it's your turn today.
Okay.
We are definitely just doing this as it comes. So whoever feels like it, please go ahead.
Sister Belinda, will you please do it today?
Yes, yes, of course. Okay.
Thank you, sister.
Somebody's asking for the name of the singer and the song. And it's Lucinda from Bliss. And if you join our WhatsApp group, you can even get a copy of the song.
Okay, so this is our opportunity to practice, and it's the practice that enables us to turn the theory into experience. So let us just sit back and be fully present to ourselves, to honor this moment that we have given ourselves, to be at peace, and to get to know who we are at our deepest core, the eternal spirit, the eternal soul. We see that tiny point of light that is the true self, the conscient being, the truth, the immortal self. We know that throughout the day we have many thoughts in the mind, many of them triggered by our physical senses. But the journey to sovereignty, to self-mastery, is to become independent of those external triggers. To know without doubt that my nature, my true nature, is peace. And this peace comes from that deep security of my own eternal existence. From this original feeling of peace comes love and joy. And so I'm able to move through life from this essential core rather than all the triggers of my physical life, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. And when I notice there's been an intrusion of some past impression, some negativity, some criticism, some judgment, I notice and I pack up. I come back to my essence. The one who packs wisely travels light. And when we travel light, we come under the light of the divine. And we share light with those around us. Light brings more light. And so we help others to be true to their nature of peace, love, and joy. Om Shanti.
So thank you. And today, the power to pack up. As I develop the art to apply a full stop, I have the power to close the door to the past, be in the now. I open the door to limitless opportunities. I experience being light and creative, enthusiasm to start again, power to finish weak habits. So thank you, everyone, and have a beautiful day. Once again, I invite you to unmute and bring your voice into the room. and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Sister Usha, for the beautiful
you.
session and the meditation. Om Shanti.
Om
Have a lovely
Shanti.
week.
Yes, sisters. Thank you.
Thank you to
sisters.
all the sisters for this lovely motivation and to make me again aware to be in the now and think about awareness. Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Thank you, sisters. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful meditation. Thanks.
Thank you,
Thank you
sisters,
very
for all the
much.
pearls of wisdom shared again this morning. Have a lovely day, everyone.
Thank you, sisters. Thank you for continuing to enlighten our souls, to equip us to journey, and to equip us to be valuable, to help others. Have a great day.
For sure, you are valuable.
Thank you, sisters. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you.
Have a
Om
nice day.
Shanti. Yes, goodbye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you all, sisters.